All right. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the Sunderland Football Manager 2021 Road to Glory series. And this is the beginning of Season 7. This is arguably, get up in the comments, but my favorite save I've done on YouTube for a really, really long time. I had some older saves back in the day, you know, the FM13, 14, 15 days, but I reckon this has been better than all of them in terms of the content because we have just been flying. We won the Premier League last season with Sunderland. We've really come up well since where we started in League One and maybe what Sunderland are stuck with still doing for another season in real life. But if you're a Sunderland supporter, I always wonder that, how many Sunderland fans will be watching this series. I would say a decent portion of the viewership would, but we are heading into Season 7 in the Premier League to defend our title. So you know we had to be ruthless. And I mean, you see the title. We will get into this. And you know how it is. We are coming off the previous season. So late transfers is what goes through. And sometimes they don't go over in the new year, into what would be here 27 season. So we will show you can see anyway, but Jordan Morton, 550k to Southampton. He was one we mentioned in the youth intake. These kind of transfers generally do happen where they've been maybe youth intake players. They've been at a club for 2 or 3 seasons, but he's someone I thought, okay, he started to improve well, but I was gonna jump on that interest, of course, because he's not that sky high potential. He's not going to be top. He's not going to be one of the best players in the world. That's kind of our requirements now, considering what happened to us in the Champions League and where we need to be and how we're managing the team now. So with that 550, we also got the clause at that 50% just to show you guys in terms of the money coming in, just to show you, Jordan Morton, 50% of his next transfer fee. So I'm very happy with that. The fee that we got right now, money, 550k up front. And half of whatever his next sale will be. And if he does develop well, that's going to be good. This is, I don't know, does anyone else do transfer deals this kind of way? I always wonder in Football Manager, I could make a tutorial video or just a tips video to go about transfers, but I know people, conduct their contract dealings and, transfer negotiations in different ways. So I wonder what you think of what I do with those players that probably won't make it to where we need to be. So that's and if they become decent, they sell anyway, you get a decent portion of the money, or you get half and you get some decent money. So you see right away, Dele Alli, we didn't mess around. We saw Dele Alli transfer listed, and yes, you would say, oh, how old is he now? He's 30 years old. He's not going to be 31 until April, I believe. On this page, it doesn't show his birthday. Where I'm used to is just going to attributes and seeing anyway, on the 4th, 11th of April. So later in the year, almost come the end of the season, he's 30. But let's go on his attributes to talk for a bit. 18 natural fitness. So that's really, really high. Natural fitness is very good for maintaining the player's attributes. So I'll be shocked. I'll be, sure, game, prove me wrong. Prove me wrong throughout the season. But he's going to hold his attributes, or at least they're not going to drop massively. Like you see how he's looking right now. He still looks like how he's always been, right? So I'm pretty happy with him and his value. He was transfer listed, so we got him like a few million below his value, which is pretty neat. But what you really want to be seeing, yes, let's see, he goes under, why would he go under both? It doesn't make sense. So we're going to showcase this. I'll talk about the outs in this fashion first because, so you can see all the details. I'll do it again so you can see the specific fees because I'm right here down the bottom on the right side. But anyway, Joey De Jong, these are the most recent deals. Joey De Jong went out on loan to LA Galaxy again. Centre backs might be a little bit of a conversation for us, but he's just going to have another loan. We'll keep it short and sweet with him. Corredor, he was another one. Again, we'll talk about it because our size of our squad is pretty big. And I just felt like he did okay, but I think he needs a full season, not coming off the bench and that. So Hertha, they're a decent sized squad, but they said they've got some good players. That's what I mean. Will be interesting. We'll be interested to see how often he plays. But that's a good club for him to go. James Connolly, just think, Hertha generally, they make pretty big signings. They have decent money. Just so I show you guys, if we click on their club for a second, they got Parrott there. If you take a look at their team, they got, Okay, they don't have a whole lot. To be fair, what did they do? We'll just go over to might see the strength of their team. Yeah, they got Univar. He was one I was trying to sign, but two. Okay, we'll keep it short and sweet. We're not going to be paying a minimum fee release clause, 97 million, mate. Yeah, we probably can't afford to do that. So yeah, they got some guys that have developed well. You know, Brian O'Day. He's not a bad youngster. He's 23 now. Like, look how far we're into the save, and he's still only 23, so he's not bad. So you see, he could actually fit in well, to be fair. Yeah, because they've got quite a few younger guys in the team. So, again, that's a good move. Tony Crawford. Like, I signed this guy on a free transfer. Like, this guy was a Chelsea. I can't talk to him or talk about him as a transfer. We enter his information as a player we moved out. That's funny. But yeah, we signed him on a free. He was decent potential. Came through Chelsea's academy. He's already played some games in America. See, you know how we have those pre-seasons in America? And yeah, it's mentioned in the comments as well. Like, I've done it a few times. But this is the thing. We're starting to get a connection with these American clubs, and that would be a part of it, I think. So, yeah, I wouldn't be shocked that it would play some part. But, yeah, he's championship level, which is probably similar to MLS. So that is a good move for him. So, yeah, multiple players for us getting go. Look at this. Charlotte FC coming for Vaclav Hartik, who, again, needs another season out on loan. But he is a pretty good fullback prospect for us. Where do we sign him again? Yeah, just a couple of seasons ago, 49K, another Czech Republic player. There might be talks, not too deep on a Czech Republic player for us, but more related to another signing. But Vaclav, he's strong on both feet, very strong on his left and right foot strong, to be specific. But yeah, we could really develop him where we think we most need a fullback. And then also our backup goalkeeper for last season, Wagner, he goes out on loan. Again, that's self-explanatory. Get some time to play some regular football. But this was a huge one. Dusan loan. There's a 300K total fee, which was a little you see, I listed him. Like, I was trying to get him, like, his value was above 50 million. It was like 53, 54, something like that. And I was trying to actually sell him. And I was like, 75K. Teams are saying his wage is too high. There's players that are above 100K on their wage. And I just couldn't get that much for him. And we resulted to that, basically. So you can see the specifics on their contract, what they're paying the month. What I wanted to make sure, they weren't offering 100% of his wage. So I wanted to make sure the monthly, like the fee, was going to go on top of that. So at least it is like they are paying his wage, essentially. I don't know why they didn't want to keep it simple. There's a future fee within that as well. Even though it's only 23 million, I feel he's going to be a tough one to sell for anything. So if they, hopefully he has a good spell there. And that's probably around his value, his actual value. You can't always sell players at their value. So, yeah, I got to be happy with it. Unfortunately, we couldn't get transfer money for what he's worth for this season, but at least they're going to be paying what his wage will be, even though it's not directly, but, yeah, through the monthly fees as well, if that's not all too confusing. James Garner, he was another one that was valued like 15 million or just under that, or that's how much we signed him for. No, that was someone else. That's what happens when you sign so many players. No, that's how much I was probably, or how much he was valued at. Yeah, that's how much he was valued at. It had to be one of the two. So we made profit off of him, but it's definitely not as much profit as I was hoping for. But once more, just because he was valued at a certain amount doesn't mean we were going to get that much money. He's a player that wasn't playing regularly. So even if he is homegrown, we're going to have our own replacements with that anyway. In terms of improving our money, that is. That's a big part of things. So then Smith Rowe, you're like, talk about this lad. Okay, I will. 30.5 million we got for Smith Rowe. I feel he wasn't contributing enough. We played him in enough games. We gave him enough starts, and you just feel if a player is going to be good enough for you. He was the one that we signed for around that fee, 14.75 mil, and just over double. But for the games we utilized, I think I touched on it in a previous episode for a player, like, we signed him and he provided that kind of fee, or maybe he just just missed out on it, but close enough. Like, he provided a rotation, keeping other players fit, and maybe went away to us making the final in the Champions League and winning the Premier League last season. Then we take the profits on that. And then we go over, there's Patrick Agu. We shipped him out to Valencia, 175k. He probably just needs one more season through our signings we made this season. Yeah, I want to see him. What do you think? Is he more a defensive midfielder type or a right back? What do you think is best to develop him into? Or we keep loaning him out. Who knows? It might be out of our control. And I think that's where we're going to change it without checking my recordings. I think that's where my camera covers below that. So we'll switch it up, and then we'll go up to Tony, 83k. He was a guy we just brought in recently, signed on a free. So another one, 69k. So guys, these are kind of like when you buy a property and then you buy it for the purposes of renting out, but in a better way. Like, these guys we sign on a free transfer. Well, we pay their contract, I guess, but then we've got someone else paying. It's similar to that anyway. And then there's the part of it where the players are gaining value because they're getting better. But how about that? 9.5 million as a player, like, that's decent. Like, a guy that's come through the Real Madrid academy. That's why we're getting someone from Chelsea, Real Madrid. Maybe they didn't think they were going to be good enough for their own club. But yeah, they've got talent in them, that's for sure. And I love the teamwork, vision, work rate. Those batch of green attributes there are pretty nice. So we'll go back from Tony there. David Powell, another loan. They're paying a little fee as well. His potential isn't higher, so we're not going to talk too much about him. And a few others. Prenovi, yeah, Enrico Prenovi, that was another signing we made, 7 million. His was a relegation, active relegation, because Udinese, they're in the Serie BKT now. They got relegated. So just with you, I show you their season. They finish 18th. Yeah, so that was his active relegation release clause, and I think that's pretty good. We were trying to find these young guys that had, and there was a few of them. Maybe we'll go through other signings, but he needed a work permit. So he's going to be loaned out. He has some neat attributes, so we'll be interested to see how he develops. That's always my reaction. It'll be interesting to see how this guy develops. So it's true though. What happened when we got this many signings? Toby still needing his work permit. He's still holding good potential. That's not really dropping, and natural fitness is good. He's always lacked the determination. So, mate, he needs to get determined to get that work permit. Then Bobby Chapman, just to get more experience. Does he have a future? I think once more, like, wasn't he? Like, one of the youth intakes, he was the highest potential lad. And there's been a couple like that where their potential is starting, where they may have been a 5-star, if not 4, and that's slowly dropping back now. It's maybe because we're increasing, because it's compared to increasing the quality of our players, to be specific. We're improving that. So compared to who he's rated to, that ability of the players are increasing. So Dallamura, guys, I got to treat this as a win, because there was a lot of offers, funnily enough, and there was like 10 million, 11 million. I thought there were, so I had those accepted, and they were skewed fees as well, like all these different clauses and all that. And this one was just a straight 15 million. I prefer that, man. And I thought, we weren't going to get as much as profit off of him as we intended to, or as we would have liked. And I'm surprised that he was going to like drop a division, but he did. His reaction in his information, the negatives, doesn't have any now, of course, because he's moved, and none of my players are unhappy now. You know how we had those SPTs, man? SPT is going to be a thing, like 3 letters that's going to be in my mind that I hate in the future, that I never forget, because it reminds me of that moment. You never know how much it played a part in the Champions League, and our players, not liking how we treated him. But anyway, my thing was, I had accepted lower offers. Then I just went to delete, reject those after I had 15 mil, and we'll take that. And those were all our outs. That's all we did. So now we'll focus on the ins. And some of them you know already, so we'll keep it short. We already talked about Dele Alli. Carlo, this guy I've been up in the air. Should I keep him? I've registered for the Premier League. Keep in mind, we've listed him for loan. I just think that central midfield position, there's definitely competition. And he's a bit in between for me. Like, he's 21 years old. I'm not sure if he's going to be, that quality I talk about, being the best in his position, or at least second best to be part of rotations. And Tony, we already talked about through the players going out, so don't need to worry about him. And Sebastian Bernal from FC Köln, I think I touched on him, didn't I? I touched on him during when, remember, we could approach him, but he didn't want to listen to that. He wanted to wait, until, close to his contract was expiring. Maybe, they would have offered him a new deal. But for me, a elite centre-back, when you can sign him on a free transfer, there's some negatives to his game, like his tackling is only 13, he's 27. I'm going to work on that with him, honestly. Defensive position, you can't. If you click on that, it doesn't cover tackling, so I might not even do it. I might just focus on the role. If we just go to a centre-half, if we go a central defender on defend, that's probably what you do have to do. Does anyone else find that annoying? You can't target some specific attributes, which you used to be able to do that. I never understood why Sports Interactive would think, okay, let's improve you, not be able to specifically work on a defender's tackling. Whether it just be it's covered enough in the role, fair enough. But his jumping reach is incredible, great strength and quick. So that might make up for his tackling, and he might be relevant to something else we'll talk about with another player you can't see right now. But I'm happy we got him because 51 million. I'm not sure if he's worth that. Like you've seen some other players that we've sold not quite at their values, or we tried to sell around their value, and they weren't going. If we were going to talk about someone like Dusan, you might think, who's his replacement? We'll get into, mate. That's why this preview, this build up with our transfer has been so long, mate. There's so much detail we have to go through. Enrico Pranovi, we talked about him in terms of being a relegation team at a relegation, or team that got relegated. So we had an active clause there, which we activated. Not sure how good he'll get, but he'll be good value. Tony Crawford, we talked about him as well, as he did go out on loan, so we don't need to cover him too much to show you. He was that. He was that guy at Chelsea. Just wanted to make sure with that. We loaned him out to the MLS, and he's actually started well there. He's had some good games. So then we went to loan. This is where you're starting to see we're trying to get those English, definitely homegrown players in. So Teden Mengi on loan. Like him, he's quick. A guy, don't forget, like who we had last year. Mason Holgate at City, who was also listed, but 29, I don't mind him. Again, I fancy that natural fitness of 16, but I didn't feel we need him. I felt we could just make the same move again. We could get a loan. We can get a loan that can play centre-half and right-back. We'll be training him at right-back in case. Forget about that crossing, because we'll play him in a defensive role when we need to play him there. So, that is not an issue. That's gonna be it. And especially, we may not need to use him. We rotate Armini and Brandon Williams at right-back. That's probably going to be enough for us. And this was another one. If we go to his club, Miguel Angel Falcone, that is a long name, but is that type where you feel like you need to say his three names? But he was at Elche. He played every single game and started them all. And in La Liga, he performed decently. We signed him 8.5, and they were another team that got relegated. Maybe why he played every single game. And as you can see, they finished 19th in the La Liga Santander. Again, I was just in the mood to complete a full name. I don't know just why I said, I could have just easily said La Liga. So, value. There's a couple of these guys, he and Enrique. I wonder how good they're going to be. I just wonder how good they'll be. But considering he performed in La Liga, he might be a good backup. He's probably going to play in Sam Greenwood's role, so you probably think, we still got Sam Greenwood. He's been a tricky one. I've been hesitant to sell him because the only homegrown player we have at the club, like homegrown at the club, Sunderland. So, and we had to sign him early. There's not many others. There's Josh Madja, who we actually had at a time as well, but no one else good enough. Bruno Guimaraes. A lot of teams were interested in this guy. He was running out of contract from Man City. He had a great season out on loan at Monaco. Really well. He performed well. He's a player that City signed for 36 mil. I always like to gauge that. A team, Man City, or just a big team, they pay decent money, or any team that, especially when they're top quality like Man City, they paid a decent fee for him, and where they're still young enough. He's 29 or 28. I'm thinking of his next age. He's not too far off. But he should still perform well. And he's valued at 60 million. Of course, new signing is value is going to be, it's going to be at its highest. But he's a guy we signed for a free transfer. Look, we haven't spent that much. And Jake Scott. So this guy, our first player we signed from Liverpool, his attributes look really nice. For a striker, one of his lowest attributes technically is 12, which is weird, but I think that technique, passing, heading, first touch and dribbling is really going to, it's going to show in game, and he's going to perform pretty well, that with his pace, and I think it's still going to lead him to scoring goals. That is for sure. Like, he had we played against Liverpool and he was playing in games and I thought he was decent. Even he had a loan spell at Norwich. That was a couple seasons ago now. We scored 16 goals. So he shows he's a good enough finish. He'll score goals and he'll help others. So he's just going to be play Dusan's role, and he'll be good as a super sub because of his pace. This is the one we've been wanting to see, right? Mo Salah for 11.5 million and 13.5. I think that was, we'll go after a certain amount of games. But I want to make sure 2 million after 50 league appearances for Mo Salah, because I'm like, is he going to end up playing that? His age, what if he gets injured? That's an in case thing, because I could have easily paid that fee, because he was actually transfer listed. They were trying to get rid of him for whatever reason. So maybe they're just looking for, the new, they thought maybe he's past it now. If they were looking at him last season, had his worst season in the whole save, where I don't think he's dropped as much. Again, it's the natural fitness situation. 16, his pace has dropped. Sure, that's a fact. I don't think we can see it. Progress, we can only see it from when they're at our club. But yeah, we know Mo Salah, we know he's quicker than 13 pace, but he's still kept his mentals, his technicals. You don't look at the physicals. You go like that, you hide it, you put your hand in front of the physicals. He's still world class. He's still elite. I don't need to say too much more about him. We know it's just a 34-year-old Mo Salah, and he's still got that quality. His value's at 12 million. I think he's going to star, honestly. I think he's going to do real well. Can we go off his form? Just played a couple here. He got a couple assists, doing some standard stuff. So we'll talk about what we wanted to do. So we had money, and we still have some. There's deals coming. Do you say deals? How many do you have? But no. Hlozek. We know about Hlozek, and I don't want to spend too much time on it. I didn't want to sell him, no, but I felt like I wanted to get a more world-class. I don't think he's described as world-class, and I mean, he isn't even, but I mean, what I see, we've always loved him. He's done his work, but I don't think he's been consistent enough. That first season, don't forget, he was our main striker, so he was going to be, scoring goals, that's for sure. I don't think he provided enough. So I was looking at the best left wingers and where I found the value and all that, and that's where a lot of expensive players were, it was just going to be hard. It was going to be hard to get someone, because a lot of them are maxed out. They're going to be 80, 90 million, the very best. And I just showed you one of them before, Univar, 90 million. They got these type of release clauses. So I saw Salah and I'm like, he's still that quality. He'll have as good impact, I like to think, even though being a little bit slower. Being a little bit technique, get the ball to his feet. It's all about how we're going to use Salah, and I think we'll use him effectively. Which funny, that in turn, he wasn't replacing Hlozek. He replaces David Brooks, and then that's a bit of a concern for me because, I think David Brooks is a little bit better overall than Hlozek, but playing Salah on that side, on the left, then he's cutting in onto his right. We know Mo Salah doesn't do a lot on his right foot. So, I wasn't too sure about that. But you will see our overall balance is 171 million. We've still got a bit of transfer budget. And, we'll talk about transfers potentially happening. I know there's a lot, but hopefully you like this much detail. So this is a file I have saved in my documents called Tax Gang, because that's where we made a lot of money coming in. I'm not sure the operations of that, or is just part of being in the Premier League, or what. I'm not going to take much credit for it, like I said, from something I've done, but we definitely take that. Our overall balance has gone to our highest ever, and that's also because we didn't splash a lot of extra money. We kept it, which was good. So again, we were kind of bargain hunting in a way, while still bringing in class players and experienced players. So one more, maybe two more. Conseil Sao. He's got a 27 million bid from West Brom. We're just waiting for that to go through, and we've lined up our replacement. I'm assuming that's going to go through because I've got Jack Grealish, again, another English lad. He's come through, like, you know, his experience in the Premier League. I was going to talk about his attributes for a second, and does it really affect, reflect how he runs at players and wins free kicks? I don't think that happens in FM, like, with how his attributes look. Like, it's not like shown how pacey he is or how, like, his dribbling is 15, but I don't think he's rated how he's going to be winning so many free kicks and all that. You know the point I'm making. I don't think he's rated that way. He looks pretty balanced in his attributes, like a lot of other players are, and he plays a bit different to other players. Like, you know what I mean? He stands out with the amount of free kicks he earns. So there's that. And there's one more potentially. So the transfer window is not over. We got a bid from Barcelona for Salisu. So I always want to go like this. They offered 51 million. It's not all up front. It's some like with monthly installments, but a lot of it is. A lot of it is up front. So I'm pretty happy with this deal. Did I put an asking price? Maybe I did. Maybe I tried to ship him out just for a casual 51 million earlier in the window. But I didn't, for this offer, I didn't offer him out, and then I got it right away. It's just like we've had that asking price there, and then Barcelona's come with the bid. So I like that, because if I listed him, tried to offer him out, one of those occasions, a guy on 100k, it might be like Dusan, where we can barely get 30 mil for him, and then he ends up going out on loan. And this is a much better deal, because I talked about the current centre-backs we have, but now coming in on a free transfer. I'm thinking, do we even need to get another replacement? You're thinking you're going to have the money there, so you might, yeah, sure, why don't you? But there has to be the right player, because we do have quite a few centre backs in the team anyway. Look, Armeni can play centre half. White, Tomasevic is coming through as well. Is he the Johnny Brennan but of a centre back for us? He's a centre back Johnny Brennan for us, centre half Johnny Brennan, whatever sounds better. And then we don't need to spend that money and save that. Like, that's a scary potential if we don't need to spend that money, and we can actually keep it. And is there anyone else? And Mengi as well to be backup for his pace. Does that make up for his lower, his 13s, for his good technical defensive attributes? Maybe. But that's enough. Whew, almost out of breath. I was trying to cover as much as I can with the transfer stuff without it being too long, even though, yeah, very in-depth. But hopefully you like the in-depth covering, all the transfers we made. And there was a few that didn't go through. Nico, this guy from Barcelona, he was listed. We made an offer, Liverpool made an offer, and they went with a higher reputation. He went with a higher reputation team. So at that point, I wasn't very happy with Nico. There was a few extra words I had for him, but so lucky it wasn't live. I'll be a bit frustrated because he looks so good, world-class midfielder at a great price. What's his value now? And yeah, 52 million. Yeah, I was pretty annoyed at that point in time, but that led us to spending the money elsewhere. Always leads to a positive. So I knew there was an extra thing I had to show you. Go into the Community Shield. Yeah, we'll get into it. Opposition instructions. That's a go-to now, just to apply that, and how our team is looking. As I said, it's not even finalized yet. And we're going to prepare. Salisu go out, because let's start Bornau. I was going to start what I think is our best team. Bornau is not. He's not half bad at all. I got to show my faith in him. Yeah, if I think, but it's going to tease me, that money. You guys get up in the comments with that big fee we'll have. Should we go out on a real world-class centre-half if Bornau is not enough? I suppose just his tackling and positioning, anticipation. I want someone who's real strong. But again, they're going to cost prime a real big amount, unless someone surprisingly is listed. But anyway, we're going to leave it there. The guys who got on the bench, I think I did have Falcone initially. So Falcone, either way, initially had him, but we bought Jake Scott to be that striker sub on the bench. Dali Ali, and so for now anyway, when he comes in, Conceição goes out, Grealish comes in, sure, Plozek, he goes to the bench. Guys, that's like a Premier League line there, that you'll be familiar with in terms of players. It'll be Salah, Ali, Dali Ali, felt like I had to say his first name, and Jack Grealish. Like, that just changes the prospects, and you almost would have not expected that to happen. But hey, it is going to regardless. And I like, so out of this, our new signing, so Ali and Salah, I'm just going through again, just Bruno Guimaraes, Bornau coming in now. On the bench, Jake Scott, loan from Liverpool. Oh yeah, we couldn't get a future fee because he's he's like a hot prospect. He's like a young talent, so you know how high that's going to be, that price, like 100 million and stuff. That's about it. That's about it in terms of Mengi. He's like in the reserves here or not making the subs. And that really is it. Falcone as well. So, yeah, it's not a major window. I'm really happy where we did not have too much extra spent because I want us to be very good with our overall balance, and we didn't spend too much more than we sold. So I'm really happy with that, and I don't think we've left ourselves vulnerable. And I've talked about it, and I think it said in the comments to focus on the youth more, build the wonder kids through, which we can still do. We've got so many already. We don't need to sign more. And we can just spend the money on some really good experienced players that can get it done for us. You got Bruno in there, another Bruno, Salah and Dele Alli. That brings power into our attack. That's improvement for sure. You might say, oh, Gomez was good, but Dele, he's just a goal scorer. He's going to provide something else when Gomez was playing there. We drop him to play Mazzala. Was thinking advanced playmaker, but yeah, Guimaraes is still going to be with the one playmaker, deep line playmaker though. So yeah. Oh, and then also set pieces. Like, I want you to know everything. Salah to come in as our corner taker. Even if he isn't the highest, his technique is 17. So technically he's going to, it's not just the corner attribute and it's not just the free kick attribute. I want Salah to be involved with that. And this might be the free kicks one we haven't added Salah into, but yeah, I want him in there. But we adjusted some of these others. Yeah, so you can see like Salah's there and like his techniques can, like, sure, of course, technique's important with that. So we've done another, even though, guys, Salah has good penalty taking as well, but Johnny Brennan is still going to be taking our penalties. He has to. So, guys, leave a thumbs up on the video. Leave a thumbs up on the video for, if it's just a loan, bring in Mo Salah. But I'm really happy again in a different way. I think it's been a different kind of window. We've brought in some guys who's done it before. Well, if I'll talk about Salah, Dele Alli, he's at Tottenham, so we can't say done it before, but he's an experienced, he's done this all before. He's like played at the Premier League top level, and he's still going to be holding his ability because of the good natural fitness. So that's a positive of him and Salah. They're not just old players and they're going to decline heavily. And this is us getting revenge on Chelsea, I guess. Let's go out there. This is our look. We've got to have a bit of anticipation. Oh, they had Ramsdale, who we had a lot of praise for, and they've brought back using Kepa. So let's see. Youssef's going to be our backup goalkeeper now. And could that be how you pronounce his name? Youssef, maybe opposed to Yusuf? Barely any difference. But yeah, it will give him a go. Again, he could be the Johnny Brennan effect as a goalkeeper. And I may have created a football manager term, at least in our circles here at Footy Manager TV. The Johnny Brennan effect. It has a ring to it. I'll tell you what. It's called the JB effect. Either way, the Johnny Brennan effect. Oh, good save, Henderson. We talked about some merch, maybe shirts being made. The JB effect. That could be something decent. I might take a look at that a little bit more, though. But anyway, that just came to mind now. Or good. Okay. White. Bornau clears. All right. Chelsea's heaped the pressure on us early. And we are going attacking. Let's see. Kepa. Upamecano. Chelsea have got a pretty good team. That wasn't a very good pass. Oh, he's called Bruno G, like as his name. I like that. We'll call him that from now. And here we are, Aaron. Look at this. Sergio Gomez still a star, but that's offside. That's not his fault. That was still a great strike. Well, what I was going to say, guys, expect Sergio, when I was just going on like the corners and free kicks, don't rate Sergio Gomez assist in a comparison anyway to previous seasons because, he's going to be replaced, or he's not going to be taking as many now because of the other players we have. So keep that in mind. But which is good. I want to see him do as well, like in open play, not just from set pieces. All right, it's a bit tight. You know, it's got a bit of preseason feels to it, where guys, like, they don't feel like they're 100% at their best right now. We can tell that. We can see it from Chelsea as well. They had a couple opportunities. So Aaron, who's on that yellow card, and I put, because he's our best long throw taker as well. So I even put him on the right side. It shouldn't hurt us too much. But yeah, he'll be most effective. So now it's Aaron. He's over there now. Does everything. Gomez. So that's what I said. Oh, that was a dangerous tackle. Got the ball. But it was still very dangerous. Let's just start the way we finished. And it's JB, Johnny Brennan, scoring goals. And it was said up in the comments, like, we've got to play this out 10 more seasons. It sounds long. We'd probably get this to 200 episodes if we do so, if not more. But, like, we got to see how Johnny Brennan plays out his career. It wouldn't be right if his career is not completed. So, yeah, with Aaron, we just ease off the tackles now. Beautiful. That's exactly what we want to see. That's what the kind of football we've been practicing. Just get a cross in to Jay, but no. Because I know you're going to say don't sign him because of his age. But, like, Mo Salah, injuries. That shouldn't be an injury longer than, like, it shouldn't be an injury worth of months. English, yeah? Like, no, I hope not. It better not be more than a few weeks, FM. But it's because I signed him, I can tell. Oh, David Brooks, no trouble there. He just comes in. He's happy. You better not make it a real long injury, FM. You better not. You better not. Seriously, that could be the only way. That could be the only way that stuffs us up this season. Don't make it a huge injury. Don't make it more than a month. You better not. Or you're making it too obvious. Lozek, Brooks goals. He's still a good player, right? But yeah. That's disappointing because now I'm fearing. Now I'm fearing what it's going to be. If it's going to be, even if it is a month, that's okay. Because we don't have any other injuries in the team. We can just bring in Brooks. Easy enough for me to say. You just bring in Brooks and he's going to play that. He's going to be good enough. Early season, there's not going to be too much of a worry. Okay, we'll see. Aaron. And honestly, I don't think it's bad for him taking those throw-ins on the right side because then the ball comes back to him, creates. Another time he could have got a cross in on his preferred left foot. It's not bad how it fell to him, but yeah. We just look in control of Chelsea. I know it's a pre-season game. If I was losing... Okay. No. If I was losing, I'll be like... Brooks! Maybe this could be a blessing in disguise, even however long Salah's injured for. Brooks will know he's got a competition, so it's going to make him play at his best. But as I was just going to say, like, you'll be like, you'll complain. You'll be like, oh, it's just pre-season. This match doesn't matter. But it does matter. Like, look at the opposition. Like, look at their team. Maybe apart from Kepa in goals. But see, how come Bruno has not got injured? He's even more tired. We'll bring on Maldonado here. Gomez off. Let's bring on Frank. How many we can bring on as subs? Dali Ali, Kladrubski, Jake Scott, Johnny Brennan. Don't want him getting injured. Yeah. Or we could have potentially added more to the bench, but I just didn't think. But yeah, don't worry about it. I don't even know. But not that important anyway. Martin on a yellow. We'll bring on Brandon Williams. So anyway, not to worry. Actually, give Youssef a chance. Well, there you go. You can't make more subs anyway. So... it suits all the outfield players. There you go. Answers my own question. Praise. At least how many subs we can make. We'll use them all, so no troubles. Williams. And we thought Chelsea were in control early in the game. Oh, tackles. Win this. Yeah, and we've got defense. We've covered him. Frankie Lampard. It's got nothing on me. I think someone said a comment to sign a world-class goalkeeper, but I was happy with Henderson. I do question that. I do question that if that would have been the difference. Richarlison. Save Henderson. See what I mean? He's been good. He's going to get quite a decent rating today. And I mean, as well, keeping it within England. It's another homegrown player. So I think, yeah. Oh, and he takes another. He's been huge today. Maybe he can hear the words and he knows he needs to step up. Is it going to lead to a goal? Nope. Brooks, why would you get tackled and run the opposite way? That's strange. That's more on the gameplay, I reckon. Oh, Lozek. How does Kepa save that? Hey, maybe they know. We'll leave it. Yeah, well, let's score one more. Let's make it 4-0. Yes, normally I lose the first game. The first episode. The first game, same thing. Oof, doesn't score there. But we look good. I know. Yeah, I know. We got to chill. But I don't think FA Community Shield. This is definitely new to. This is another competition we've got to our name. But we made it look a little easy. Like, this was just another standard win for us. Happy with that. So, yeah, celebrations. Show me lift it. There we go. Then we hand it over. It was a great win. But again, it's not to the same levels of... I'd prefer winning the Champions League. That is for sure. But we did that. But I know we can't take too much from it. And yeah, lifting, we've already seen that. But it was good. And that was Armini, yeah. That's Armini. We know he's number 13, so yeah, let's continue. It's good to win, but we've got bigger things ahead of us. Defending our Premier League title. But hey, it still goes in the trophy cabinet. And we definitely take that. Salah makes his debut and gets injured. Oh, no. Oh, Jenny. Wait, okay, I thought she said Salah is out for a while. Someone will have to step up, and Brooks did in that moment, so... Another impressive debut. What? How? Like, what happened for Salah to be good? He got injured. Come on, FM. Hope it's not too long. Okay, I'm predicting. I'm hoping it's a 2 to 3 weeker. But I feel like it'll be more than that. Like, I don't think Lampard's a good manager. It's as simple as that. His tactical knowledge is 12. Like, these guys, like he and Ollie, I feel I get the better of because of that. Like, they haven't got this experience. And I think, someone said to check out my, rating. So, I'm currently like a 4-star reputation, very good. You know, my characteristics. And you take a look at my attributes, pretty strong. So, keep that in mind. So, we got some maxed out attributes there that's come over the course. But anyway, let's go back. Medals. They're given out, which is very good. David Brooks was like, he did amazing. But Dean Henderson, we've got our keeper. Mo Salah, 2 weeks, the FM gods, if you were going to injure our player. Like, honestly, for a forced off injury, that's probably as low as you're going to get it. I think I touched on that last time when we got a player, he was forced off with an injury and it was like 2 to 3 weeks. You generally don't see a week or like a few days, like a knock. We did pretty well that. So ankles can be tricky as well. So we'll be careful with him recovering. So don't think he's an older player that's injury prone or something like that. Look at his previous injuries. It's probably what you expect. Like in 2026, in 2025, he had a few, but no, they're not like injuries. There's a flu there. They're 2 days. He probably didn't even miss the next game. That was versus Sunderland. And he had another one, a pulled hamstring against us, funnily enough. Another one versus Sunderland. With probably a team he got most injured against. See, that's the impact we have. So that's not something to worry that much about. If it was for a few months, yes, but no. Let's forget about the worry towards that. Fans praise Footy Manager TV. We're just reaching another height in terms of that. But Henderson was amazing, and he shows, he's like, Gaffer, I can be the man. I can be the man for you. again, even though as much it's essentially, I treat it as a preseason game, so I still mention it there, but it's still it's still a good opponent. There was still good players out there. That doesn't take away from it. We still had to be a good starting 11. If we take a look at it again, like who was out there? Can we click? Okay, you can't from here, but we know you saw who was playing anyway. So let's go back. Oh, we have to continue a day. Then it showed up. But anyway, we're going to leave it there. He's not a bad player to Everton, but yeah, that's the work we really did. Because I'm going to play it off camera, of course, like the next few days. I reckon we go up to Liverpool and Tottenham, even though there's an international break in between that. And yeah, it's not as relevant. Oh, the income, well, the previous month. Can we go the expenditure last month? A lot of it is transfer related. So you can see what our player wages are now. That's definitely increased. Signing a couple bigger players like Salah, that, boosted a bit, but it's more than Salah, of course. And then our income last month. A lot of it is from the players sold, but season tickets, I want to show you, how much we sold through that. So that's a decent amount. And you can see last season. So that was a little bit extra, over $1 million. It's not a game changer, but just to keep you in mind. But that the tax money was the biggest difference. So what's going to happen now? I want to show you Marcos Cáceres. I think he just keeps developing as expected. He's only 16. His attributes don't look like a 16-year-old. Looks more like an 19-year-old. But I'm going to leave it there. And what's going to happen? Conceição, if he agrees, he's going to be going out. I hope that's the case where he does. It likely is going to happen in the information. He wants to leave due to interest that has been shown to him. So that should happen, just to let you know what that exactly says. And guys, if you know, Porto's manager is his father. He's upgraded and managing Portugal in the save. But yeah, since 2017, he's been Porto's manager. So it wasn't really mentioned in the comments, and I didn't really realize it as well. But that's him. Decent footballing family. A few other Conceiçãos, his brothers. So yeah, I'm imagining that's going to go through, and I'm treating it essentially as a swap deal, really. And that's saying it like sometimes I'll say that when I'm spending a little more on a player, but this time was maybe the wage might even it out. Either way, essentially a swap deal, give or take a few million, and then whatever's going to happen with Salisu, 51 million. Get in your comments. Do we replace? Oh, I'll go. Why not? The video's long enough right now. It's got the vibe of a long video. Hopefully you guys enjoy the longer videos as well. We are just going to reset this. If you see, this is my settings for inside forward. Just so you know, for one that's trained in England, Serge Gnabry is the only other one from Real Madrid, would have cost more. And even if we take that off, there's a few others. But yeah, I wanted to sign Nassi Unova. This is that comparison I was saying about Salah earlier, even though it was left wing. Then I came across Salah and thought, okay, he could be a decent quality. So Jack Grealish, there's some decent names there and decent values, and considering how much we're signing Grealish for, I'm very, very happy with that. As much as Nassi, I would have really loved to sign this lad. Obviously came through Ajax. They know how to develop players, that is for sure. But anyway, we're just going to check out a centre half. Maybe if we go to Unsure, or maybe you guys think we have enough. Bornau, did he look okay? We'll see. But if you got the money there and there's an option, there's so much. If we're just going off what players we have scouted, like off their abilities, you can see even minimum fee release clauses there. But I want to be signing someone who's like really world class. There's a few 4 stars there. So Axel Tuanzebe, like, would you go signing him? Obviously, he came through United, to be specific. Just to show you guys his history. But he moved on. Only Schalke signed him for 7 million. I always wonder about that. Like, oh man, we could have signed him for that much and a much better deal. But yeah, what do you think? Is he worth it for those attributes? I don't want to go for potentials. No, this is not what I want to do. I want to sign someone who would come in, because we've got those younger guys in the team. Definitely. Or someone like a Tomasevic. So if Salisu goes, or do we just pocket the money? Because we've got a younger guy and we've got a Bornau who's come through, and then we go, Armini can go across the centre half. Let me know. Do we go on the, like, for example, if we go to the transfers, if we get to the director of football, go for a centre back for a transfer, who's other one suggested? Like these guys are 52 recommendation. Okay, we'll scout him again, but like they don't look significant. Like for me, there's no dominant centre halves. This guy doesn't look bad, Facundo Gonzalez, but again, like in terms of previous years, someone like, I don't know, just some different players coming, I go for the Barcelona, like Piqué, really strong attributes. Like none of them look, a lot of them seem to have that 15, 14 type of technicals and stronger in the physical. Maybe you say Kanate is not bad. Maybe we scout him, but have you guys experienced the same? Like, that's what I can just see from these reports right here anyway. And the last thing we will do is search by the attributes. I'll do that at the very least. If we go for a defensive role, if we go for a central defender, defend at least 15s. There's going to be, of course, no players there. 11 out of 13. There's one. Ronald. And his value isn't the highest. He's at Lyon. Uruguayan. But see, that's what I mean. Is that passable? He's 27. Has he got any release clause, anything like that? No, but if we just go to ask agent about availability there, around the same price, it will be for Salisu. And if we do a quick comparison, Salisu, would he be, but then it's the question, okay, technically looks very similar. I'm going to say he's like 10 to 9, so I could say if I'm looking to sign him to make it sound better, oh yeah, he's better. But they're very similar. Or do you, like, I don't know, they're the same age. Or, like, you're like, oh, you might as well have kept Salisu, if that, because he's not that higher level better than him. It's either taking our profits or getting someone who's much better. Is there not someone who's that next world-class level that wants to join us at the very least? That's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do. Get up in your comments. I don't want to go, if I'm going searching and all that, we could be here forever. Unless there's someone else, if we drop it. Jose Jimenez, even I just want to see his attributes because maybe we compare it more. Again, like, I don't think so. Maybe if we boost, what I'm going to try and do, if we boost to 16, and maybe if there's 8 out of 13, there's not going to be. There's one guy there. There's Zagadou. Zagadu's rated while he's... but again, is this the maximums? What do you guys think? We'll scout him, and we'll scout a few others with this search, because you might as well. We'll go 6 to 13 or 6 out of 13. Is any of these guys, and one that's Wesley Fofana at Leicester, and he's so physically strong. I guess you can't gauge how he's gone at another club. Leicester, like average rating for a defender can, they can, be different. But anyway, he would be, again, like around Salisu's price. Just, that's that scout. But what if you go availability? Or they won't want to sell him. So he might, if we just do a quick interest test here, 50 million. That's unacceptable. So guys, if you were thinking, maybe try for him. Not going to be a possibility. See, that's what I mean. Someone like this, you're like, you see the 16s and you go crazy. Kind of, he's listed. Okay, so that saves a little. That saves a little bit. He's 29. Natural fitness 14. That's decent. You save a bit of money. Is Torres the one we go for? 33.5. So you get a bit of profit, you keep a bit extra if we're comparing to him and Salisu, how much we're selling him for. Would you do that? I really like those attributes he has. Again, if we do another comparison, Salisu, did he disappear? Okay, we'll go here. We'll go to S, Mohamed Salisu. His average is 10 out of 9, but we can tell he's a little stronger. That marking is 2 better. Tackling is 1 better, and everything else, the defensive attributes is what we take from that. First touch, passing, you don't want him to make errors, which that's where composure, Salisu's got a bit more, he's got a bit higher. Is he actually that much better? So this is where the questions we got to ask, bro. Like, do I keep searching for someone else, or do we leave it completely? It's really intriguing. Unless it's someone if they've got these attributes and they're younger, who's the youngest? Danilovic. Is it? Far out. This guy's a wonder kid. Minimum fee release clause. Holy shite. Is this the guy we go for? Let me know. This man's a wonder kid. I don't even need to ask the agent about availability because that's a minimum fee release clause. You take profit there and blood him. I think it has to be this man's. Because I think his attributes look equally or just a little bit below a couple of those other guys. But because he's a wonder kid, he's surely going to be better. Danilovic is the one. He has to be. He's the youngest and the only one, of course, the only one that's going to be a wonder kid because of his age. Media description, wonder kid, just wanted to be at the top right there. And we'll sort by the age, just so we see a couple of the other youngsters. Daniel Osorio, too mixed in his attributes, not bad. But yeah, I don't like how mixed he is. He could be cheaper, of course. Maybe scout him just in case, but not a wonder kid. Decent attributes, fickle personality. Leandro, not bad, but probably stay away from him. You see his value there. But that minimum fee release, that's insane for the attributes that we're looking for, right? And you can see he's the one and we save even more. And even though he's not the current ability, he's not far off it, mate. He really isn't. I reckon we sign him, if any. You guys leave your thoughts. I reckon he's the one we're going for, though. So I'm going to leave it there. He's strong on both feet. Oh, mate. How good he is even enters the outros. The things I say to finish the episode. But anyway, leave your thoughts on the transfers and the pending transfers coming in and how it's impacted our overall balance. Keep in mind, guys, when Salisu sells, we go over 200 million. We signed that other guy to replace him, and will stay above 200 million. That will be the benefit. And then our future centre halves could be him and Mario Tomasevic. Doesn't that look scary? But I'm going to leave it there. Hopefully you enjoyed this big episode. New season. As I said, leave a like, get a comment in. Really does help out the algorithms and lets other people see this magnificent series. Or you could just suggest some other people, some friends that like Football Manager, because tell them to watch from the start though, even though there's a lot of episodes. It's going to be worth the watch. See you guys next time.